Um, so right. First of all, I mean, I like to say Islam and peace to your audience, and it's a blessing to be here with y'all folks here tonight, right? And
Appreciate you, brother.
yeah.
Peace. Peace, bro.
So, what question would you want to start with regard to that particular segment of the subject?
Well, I believe that you guys had issues. I believe you guys ran into each other in DC, and that's when it got real bad between y'all. And then all of a sudden, you got a weird text about, you know, from the alternative community. I don't want to be too, too derogatory. I want to be very PC when I go into this, but let's just say it was real funny behavior with
Right.
the text messages, and they want to, perform fellatio and all that good stuff. I'm trying to be PC, brother. I don't want to get nasty with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, me and that brother have been having problems for quite some time, even way before Washington D.C. You
Okay.
know what I'm saying? And he and I have had various phone conversations back and forth. He was saying at one time he was going to come to New York to want to sign at a TV event, and he was going to see me there. And I told him, I said, well, I welcome your coming. In fact, I'll pay for your ticket before the event. You can come on up to New York City and, let the boys be boys. You know what I'm saying? And he said, oh, don't worry, I'll be there. I'll be there. He never showed up. It's all
Of
good,
course, of
whatever.
course.
But it's been ongoing. And when he seen me in Washington, um, he never approached me with hostility. He approached me on his usual laughy, jokey, the smiles he puts on his shows. It was one of those things. You know what I'm saying? And he asked me, he said, what's it going to be? Peace or war? But he said it very jokingly with a smile on his face. He wasn't trying to confront me at all. And I said, war, because I didn't like the brother. You know what I'm saying? Because I see the brother for who and what he really is. Can't fool me. And so I was the one who upped the ante in that conversation that we had. But later, because the thing had no sound to it, he chose to use that as a prop to say he pulled up on me and this is what happened. He gave a whole different reconstruction as to what took place that day. So after that, dude starts sending me messages. And here's how you can confirm by default that it was him. Because he heard that same show, Rabbit Got the Gun. But when he came back on his show to speak about me, he tried to talk about me in the context of just the Moorish information. He didn't want to deal with his low key, down low, private homosexual activity. You see,
Mm.
he tried to go around all that and focus on my perception of Moorish science, knowing all the while the focal point of my conversation on Rabbit Got the Gun wasn't the Moorish doctrine. It was your Moorish homosexuality. You see, and that's something that he's been running from because he didn't know that the rabbit had the gun in that context. So now that it's came out, he don't want to deal with it. He gonna have to deal with the fact that, and I told him before numerous times, I do. I know that was you that sent me a picture of those dildos. I know it was you. He never denied it. He refuses to deny it. And listen, it's just a thing where he has a lot of issues going on with him. One of them is homosexuality. The other one is a dying need for attention, whether it's whether it's good or bad. He just wants the light on him, and he
Yep.
creates these illusions that he is such a deep representation of the Moorish organization, and he's so loved by the Moors, so respected, so honored, so revered, and he's everything to the contrary. So when Sarnetta said a lot of Moors don't even like him, it's true. A lot of these Moors who have taken out subscriptions to Moorish Road TV, they won't even watch most of his shows. And some of the views, he pays for some of those views. You see? So if you look at a show that says 4,000 views on it, that's something that he's purchasing to create the illusion that people are supporting his shenanigans and his folly. He is the
I didn't
master
know
of.
that. I didn't know he was paying for views, brother.
Oh yes, oh yes. He's doing a lot of things. Listen, Taharka Bey, he is Richard Pryor in The Wiz. Once the curtain comes up, we start to see the guy for who he is. He's a phony. He's a fraud, and he uses Noble Drew Ali's name to try to build up his brand name that he's calling Morris Road TV. But see, the scheme and the scam is if I use the prophet's name to build up the Morris brand name, YouTube will cut me a bigger check. He can't get a check over teaching Morris science on YouTube because he's not a
Come on.
Morris scholar. He don't
Come on.
have Morris knowledge like that. So he has to come in contact with the quote unquote black community and argue with them to create controversies to bring in the ratings. This is a part of the scam. And anyone who spends so much time on trying to tell you that someone else is scamming, well, you got to know who the real scammer is. You see? Everyone is doing something wrong in YouTube land except him. Everyone is, scamming somebody
That's
except
right.
him. You see?
Get that
We've
bum.
gotten,
Come on.
listen,
Hey, check this out.
we we've
Check this.
gotten
Okay, so
numerous.
Roy.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I don't know if you remember this, but years ago I had a YouTube channel called Nettercat, and you commented on one of my videos, right? So this is what I want to say.
Yeah.
Taharka Bey, for someone who's not a Moor, Taharka Bey is a very bad representative and always has been. He
Right.
makes y'all look bad, right?
Mhm.
So I remember I did a video, and
Right.
you hit me up and we spoke on the phone and all that, and we was gonna set up a little something. But the point is this: I seen a video that he just did the other day, and what he
Right.
was doing, he was going in on you, talking about
Right.
how it's a bad thing that I guess part of the process of in your organization is you have to get studied. You got to study eight weeks or whatever he was saying, this and that.
Right.
He was
Right.
making it seem like that's a bad thing.
Mhm.
He was making
Well,
it seem like that's a bad thing that to study. Like, what's up with that?
well, listen, man. We have, aside from our temple, which is called Temple 13, and that number 13 has a lot of vibration in it because one, we are headquartered out of Baltimore, Maryland. And for those who don't know, on February 2nd, 1781, Baltimore, Maryland, the state of Maryland, was the 13th state to enter the Union on equal footing with the previous states. That was also known as colonies. The 13 colonies, the 13 olive branches, so we being in Baltimore, headquartered out of Baltimore, the number 13 has always been associated as a part of our name with being Temple 13. We, aside from having a temple, we have a school, a Moorish school of law and history. So Harker don't know nothing about us. He's just talking off the cuff, you see? And every year we taking minimum 50 to 100 students every year, okay? And we teach certain parts of the political side of the organization. That I just mentioned that Baltimore, or the state of Maryland, I should say, was the 13th state to enter the Union. The Union that language mainly coming out of the Civil War era, 1861 to 1865. And we teach what is called the national side of the organization that denotes law and politics. And some of these teachings come up in our Moorish school of law and history. He's making it seem like it's a bad thing because he's jealous and envious of our success and progress, and he don't have nothing to point to. See, when you out here trying to teach people something and you involved in a community as an activist, a scholar, historian, a journalist, whatever you're doing, you need to have a track record of merit and substance to point to. And he don't come up with no information as nothing of the sort. The brother been saying that, what, 2010, I think it was, or something like that, or around the time when Dr. Reggie and H0mo Behavior had a debate. He said, I didn't even own a fez. I don't know what this guy's talking about. There's many temples in New York where all my pictures are still there. I got a fez in my head 5 years prior. He's telling a bunch of lies and misinformation, and he's an embarrassment and a misrepresentation to the Moorish community and all the good that we try to stand for. trying to talk to the people and teach the people and reach the people. He comes behind because, see, what he wants to do, he wants Def Jam Records to sign him. You see? He
Right.
wants to be the more that everyone's going to remember. Now, here's the catch. You're supposed to put the Prophet Noble Drew Ali out front, not promote yourself. This is why on the back of our lawful state papers, it talks about propagating the faith of Ali in America, not the actions of Tito Toronto Johnson, aka Taharka Bey. You don't propagate yourself. You propagate the faith of Ali in America, because we start with the faith, because religion is law and law is religion, because a lot of your political laws are derivatives from religious doctrines. Okay? Well, he's out there trying to get Def Jam Records to sign him. That's why he keep on making these songs and whatnot. The man is a selfish individual, and tell you the truth, a lot of the Moors should condemn this guy. They really should condemn him and ostracize him from the Moorish paradigm, because he ain't helping us. As you just stated, he's hurting us. He's hurting us very bad. Listen, I've had brothers and sisters from other organizations. I won't name their organizations, but they came and told me they really ready to start bringing some heat to Moors, snatching off feathers and turbans because of this guy. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, he's worthy of the worst justice that can catch him. And I fast and pray for the day when Allah, in his good time, send that justice upon him to stop that dirty Moor in his tracks. His fez is soiled with lies, deceit, dirt, trickery, and that homosexual demonstration that he pulled off. That boy got some answering to do.
Facts.
He got some answering to do. You don't send no man no dildos or some transsexuals bent over backwards. I didn't know what I was looking at when I first saw this. Like, what is this? 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. And then he got on his screen months later, how he's tracking down gay white men. As I said before, some of them white boys and bent them over and gave Taharka Bey those buckshots, man. They went all up in that boy's rectum.
Yeah.
That's why
Yikes.
he's all
Bey.
messed up. They
Boochie
went
Bey.
all up in that boy's rectum, man. I mean, they literally used their male organs to do a sexual surgical procedure on his butthole.
Wait,
This is crazy.
you're saying literally. You ain't capping.
Man, brother, the man's a homo, literally.
Okay.
The man's a faggot, literally. He has homosexual tendencies, literally.
I believe it.